Welcome back, I'm John Furrier, host of theCUBE, broadcasting live from the show floor of the NYSE as part of our Crypto Trailblazers series, coverage of the BitGo IPO. Nick is back, Nick Ducoff, head of institutional growth at Solana Foundation. Nick, great to see you again. I haven't talked to you since when you guys went to Abu Dhabi in December, big event, good to see you, Happy New Year.
Likewise, it's great to see you,
IPOs are hot in 2026, BitGo first to go out. Huge milestone again, another crypto company continuing to thunder away the seed change that we've been talking about on theCUBE. You guys have been a big part of it, Solana Foundation. Just overall growth has been phenomenal. The mainstreaming, platform solid. I mean, BitGo's a platform company, okay? And they're nailing custody and boom, services are coming out of it, great revenue model, the market trends are behind them, regulatory environment solid, all speed ahead.
Yeah, I think it adds a new theme to public markets for crypto, right? We saw the exchanges go public in the last couple of years, Coinbase, Gemini, things of that nature. Then we saw Circle on the stablecoin side, and then Figure leading on to RWA tokenization, and now with infrastructure to see BitGo go public and price at the top end of the range. I think it really shows the maturity of the market.
Yeah, and looking at they're going to ring the bell soon. I can see from the market makers here, it's looking at 22, up from 18. Real-time information, we'll see how it pops. But this really speaks to, I think we talked about last time you were on theCUBE, but here it's more relevant because this tokenization of assets on chain is not only happening, it's becoming the preferred mechanism to value and also manage and get more service out of things that used to be opaque, paper counting. Yeah, I hear conversations around putting forest of trees that bear fruit on the chain. Like, we're talking about, this is like real world stuff.
Absolutely, if you think about BitGo and what does the future look like for BitGo, where's the growth going to come from? I think it's going to come from tokenization, right? Of course there's going to be growth in digital assets, but where the real growth is going to come is real world assets. And we've seen that on Solana. Year over year growth on Solana in real world assets has been 600%. We're now at about 1.2 billion, and I expect that to continue to grow, so maybe we'll end the year at 10 billion or higher.
So as BitGo goes public, they're going to ring the bell, start trading. Explain to people how trading works in the modern era, because it'll trade as a stock, but you have tokenization on Solana. Explain this, because this is very nuanced for us on the ropes, but for mainstream, explain.
Absolutely. So if you want to buy BitGo today on a traditional brokerage account, Fidelity, Schwab, E-Trade, you can do that, right? As soon as it starts trading, you'll be able to go in, you'll be able to place an order and buy BitGo. But an exciting announcement is that yesterday, Ondo tokenized 200 publicly traded equities on Solana, which is really awesome. Kraken and Xbox had previously tokenized around 50, now Ondo has another 200, but they're adding one today, and that one is BitGo. So now, in addition to be able to buy BitGo on a brokerage account in the United States, if you're anywhere in the world and you've got a crypto wallet, you can buy BitGo on Solana.
First of all, I'm smiling because I think this is the most coolest thing ever, because what you just said means the stock trades in the market, but you're now tokenizing that equity. That's a real world asset.
Absolutely.
On Solana. So for the folks watching, that means is, yeah, the stock's trading, but there's people that package it up in tokens, manage it as a tokenized equity.
Yep.
This is an example of the stock market on Solana.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's like that's specific.
And in some ways, it's better than the existing stock exchanges because it trades 24/5. So it trades from Sunday 8 p.m. until Friday 8 p.m. Markets don't sleep, and now you can buy your tokenized equities on Solana during those hours on Ondo, and then we also have another 50 stocks from Kraken that trade 24/7.
So the bell, ceremonial. We're at the NYSE, we love the NYSE, we love ICE.
It's a special place.
It's a special place. They kind of originate here, but you're kind of having this this decentralized market. What's the view in the Solana community? Because this is accelerating. What's next? We see stocks. What other things are we seeing? Because this is just going to continue. I mean, mango trees will be tokenized.
Absolutely.
I mean,
everything.
They're an asset, they produce revenue. Sometimes they're more than others, or if the weather's good. I mean, what's next? I mean, I just bring that up as an example, but I hear people talking about that.
So, the New York Stock Exchange, by the way, made an announcement of their own this week. They said, we're going to be tokenizing everything. And that was in the front page of the business section of the Wall Street Journal. I'm sure that made some noise here on the floor. And it's really exciting to see NASDAQ, NYSE, DTCC, some of the biggest players in the world say, hey, tokenization is real, it's here to stay, we're going that direction. And in my view, everything's going to be tokenized.
NYSE is owned by ICE, that's their parent company, International Continental Exchange. They do a lot of trading stuff. They trade energy, so they get the idea of trading. So the fact that they're leaning in to crypto exchanges and trading is a huge deal in my opinion. Okay, that's a kind of a tech thing, a technical thing for the trading. What does that mean in your mind? You study these tech trends from the big data days when we first met to now. As this goes mainstream, what does that mean for my sister? Smart people that aren't in tech or don't know all the bells and whistles. They hear stable coins, USD1 versus USDG, USDC. I mean, all this stuff kind of sounds very jargony.
Yeah.
What's the bottom line? How do you see this evolving in words that people can understand?
I think bottom line is important. Two things. One, access to capital for businesses of all shapes and sizes. So historically, if you were to raise capital in a private market, you have to either file a registration statement or you have to fall under a securities exemption, right? And the typical securities exemption, there are two, I mean there's many, but there's two that many companies raising capital have historically tended to fall under. One is Reg D, this is for accredited investors. This is very patriarchal in my opinion. This is the government saying, unless you have a certain amount of money, you're not smart enough to be able to buy this asset. And I think that's unfair, to the mass retail folks who are quite sophisticated, who can do their own research, who want access to these alternative investments. So that's one. The second thing is for international investors. That's Reg S historically, outside of the US. Folks outside of the US, depending on where you are, may not have access to buy even publicly traded equities at the same prices that you can buy on your brokerage account, Schwab or Fidelity. So what I think tokenizing on the blockchain really does is it flattens the playing field for everybody. It flattens the playing field for companies that are looking to raise capital, and it flattens the playing field for investors that are looking to deploy it.
Nick, great to have you on. Final question. What does this IPO from BitGo mean? It's an infrastructure company, digital asset infrastructure company. There's builders out there waiting to come on faster. Certainly the regulatory environment, I hear folks saying, early adopters, but I have folks saying, well, as soon as the regulatory environment is solid as a rock, the fast followers come in. That's a tsunami, by the way, of builders. Solana is the leading platform for builders. What does this mean, the BitGo IPO mean for the marketplace?
Yeah, it's really exciting to be here on BitGo's IPO. I was here for the both the Bitwise Solana ETF launch and the Fidelity Sol ETF launch, and for BitGo to be going public today and it looking like it's going to perform well in the market, I think it's an important thing for the maturity of the ecosystem that, again, not only exchanges, not only stablecoins and tokenization, but now infrastructure providers are going public and doing well too. So I think this indicates a very bright 2026 in my view. I'm bullish, I'm always bullish, John, but very excited for what the year has to come.
Well, to me, it's all about digital. We all have an iPhone. We all either have Apple Pay, if it's on iPhone, it's an Android phone, it's another wallet. We have Venmo, that's just digital payments with a centralized group. It's a no-brainer to have another wallet doing currency, so we're already there. Nick, great to have you on. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate
Thanks, John,
it.
as
All
always.
right, appreciate it. All right, I'm John Furrier, host of theCUBE. We are here on the live stream on the floor of the NYSE, bringing you all the coverage of BitGo IPO. We'll be right back after this short break.